So, good morning dear students. I welcome you to the second session of the isometric projection. So, during our last interaction, right, hope you don't mind me using the word interaction, even though I am not allowing you to talk here, but as much as possible I am trying to give you the explanation and hope you will follow that. So, in the previous class we went through the introduction of the isometric projection, where the three views of the orthographic projection are combined together in order to give a pictorial drawing, that is nothing but your isometric projection. Then we took the simple problem of drawing the isometric projection of a circular lamina when it is horizontal and when it is vertical. Hope you have got the procedure there. So, please be thorough with that procedure, since it will be repeated in cylinders or cone or frustum of cone, etc. there. So, in today's class I will go through the drawing the isometric projection of simple solids like prism, pyramid, cone, cylinder, etc. And then we will go to the combination of the solids, which will be asked from your exam point of view there. So, coming to the first problem, right, I will just read the problem here. A hexagonal prism of base side 30 mm and axis length 70 mm, right. You are having a hexagonal prism, base side 30 and axis 70 is resting with its base on HP, right, such that one of the rectangular face is parallel to VP. Draw the isometric projection, right. So, in this problem, fortunately he has given you one of the rectangular faces parallel to VP he has given you. Even though it is not given, it is always better to keep the prism in the way what have been shown here, because in isometric projection, as I have told you, we try to show as many faces as possible, right. So, quickly I have already drawn this in order to save the time, since I assume you to be thorough in your solids chapter there. So, whenever the prism is resting with its base on HP, in the top view you will get its true shape. Draw a hexagon in the top view, then you draw its front view here, right. So, to draw the isometric projection, in case of circular lamina, we used to enclose it in another lamina there. Now, since it is a solid, we have to enclose it in another solid here. So, whenever the hexagonal prism is enclosed in another solid, that solid will be nothing but it is the rectangular prism, right. So, first draw the hexagon in the top view, draw its front view, then you enclose this in a rectangular prism there, right. So, you can call this hexagon as A1, BB1, CC1, DD1, E and E1, right. Then similarly you mark it and F and F1 here. Then you mark them in the front view. See, this is your top face. A, B, C, D is hidden, E hidden, F is visible. Similarly, at the bottom, A1 visible, B1 visible, C1 visible, D1 is hidden, E1 is hidden and F1 is visible there. Then, as I told you, enclose it in a rectangular box, that is nothing but a rectangular prism. So, let us call that as top face as P, Q, R and S, and bottom as P1, Q1, R1, S1. Similarly, you can mark the P dash, Q dash, R and S dash, that is P1, Q1, R1, S1 dash, and here it is P, Q, R and S, right. Now, the naming may or may not be done, but in the beginning when we are learning, it is always better to do the naming so that we will understand. Once we become thorough, even though you do not do the naming, it is okay there. So now, for time being, forget this, what you say, the hexagonal prism. Think you are having a rectangular prism here. So what we will do, first step is you must draw the isometric scale here, right? Draw a horizontal line, then draw an isometric line inclined at an angle of 30 degrees and draw this actual scale inclined at an angle of 45 degrees. Now, as I have told you in the previous class, whenever you take any length from this orthographic projection, before going to the isometric projection, it should come via this isometric scale, right? So it is a repetitive process. You will take the actual length from here, draw it on the actual scale, drop a perpendicular, then you will take this reduced length, that is the isometric length, and then you will be drawing the isometric projection there. So since it is a repetitive process, to save the time, I will not repeatedly keep on telling that procedure there. So simply I will just say take the isometric length, right? So please follow that procedure there. So now I will be starting it from the bottom right corner. So this is your Q1 here. So draw a horizontal and take any starting point Q1. Now you see Q1 P1, this is a horizontal line. It is your top view. So all the lines are horizontal there. So Q1 P1 is horizontal. You take this length, get it converted, come and mark the 30 degree line here. Draw it 30 degrees, right? And this you can mark it as P1. Then Q1 R1, again it is a horizontal line. See, it is a top view. This is horizontal, this is also horizontal. So Q1 R1, you get it converted, come and mark it here, again at an angle of 30 degrees. So this is your R1. Then you can observe this line P1 S1, it is parallel to Q1 R1. So to this line, you draw it parallel here. So you will get this point S1. So now you can complete this here. Okay. Next what you do is, you have to get all these 6 points on the respective edges there. So you take this distance P1 A1, right? So this will be same as this distance, that is Q1 B1 or R1 D1 or S1 E1. So if you take one distance, get it converted from the isometric scale, come and mark the point here. From P you can mark A1, from Q you can mark B1, and at the same time you can mark D1 from R1 and E1 from S1 here. Then you take this distance P1 F1, get it converted and mark it on P1 S1 here. This is your F1. Same distance will be Q1 C1 here. Okay. Then you just, with light lines, you just complete this hexagon here. Now, since it is solids, right, some part will be visible and some part will be hidden. So it is always better first to draw a light line, then whatever is visible we can make it dark, right? So this is for the base of the prism there. Then I want to get this top hexagon. When you want to get the top hexagon, we must draw these vertical lines there. So in front view, you can see the height of the axis is 70 mm. So what you do now, at P1, draw a vertical. What will be its length? It will be isometric length of 70 there. Similarly at Q1, draw another line. You will get Q. Similarly at R1, you will get R, and similarly at S1, you will get S there. And you complete this top rectangle like this. Okay. Then repeat the same procedure and get these top points A, B, C, D, E, F here. whatever I had explained here, same procedure you follow and get the points A, B, C, D, E and F there. Okay. Now once you get these points, now you see you can connect this top hexagon completely dark line there, right? Since it is the topmost portion, you can draw it completely dark. Now how to make the visible lines dark there? Always follow this procedure in development. First you take the top portion, it is completely dark. Then you take the leftmost portion. So when you observe the leftmost portion, you can keep a scale and slide it. You will observe that F1 will be the leftmost line. So I will take leftmost solid there. And on the right side, C1 will be the rightmost side. So left, right. Then you take this front portion solid. Then front portion solid there. So once you do this, now you can observe this front portion here. See, since F1 is visible, A1, the longer edge A1 is also visible there. Then next B1 is also visible. C1 we have already completed, and when you take D1, since it will be crossing here, and as you learnt in solids, right, no two solid lines will cross, so it must be dotted line here, D to D1. Then same case E and E1 must be dotted. Okay. Then please complete the bottom portion also here. F1 E1 will be dotted, E1 D1 will be dotted, and E1 C1 will also be dotted there, right? So top completely solid dark, then leftmost, rightmost solid, front portion solid, and these vertical edges whatever are in the front side, they are visible. So you can just cross check your solution. See, if you look in this direction, you can observe that 1, 2, 3 rectangular faces are visible, and 1, 2, 3 rectangular faces in the front view are visible there, right? So this is how we have to draw the isometric projection of a simple prism there. Hope it is clear. Next we will take the pyramid problem. So the problem says that a pentagonal pyramid of 30 mm edge of base and height 65 mm rests with its base on HP. Now all these problems, they are solved problems in your KRG, right? What I am doing here is just trying to give you the procedure there. So pentagonal pyramid, 30 mm edge of base and height 65, resting with its base on HP. So since it rests with base on HP, top view will give you the true shape. You draw the pentagon in the top view. Then you can get its front view there, right? So draw a pentagon of 30 mm edge in the top view. Now, when you are drawing the top view, various things will come in your mind. Should we draw it like this? Or should we draw it like this? Or should we draw it like this? Now, in the previous problem, he had clearly mentioned one of its rectangular faces parallel to VP. So we had drawn it, it was good. But here, he has not mentioned anything. Now, if you keep this face, only two rectangular or two triangular faces will be visible. So we don't prefer this method. Again, if you draw this, again only two are visible, so not preferred. Now here, you can observe that we are getting three triangular faces, so that method is preferred there. So when nothing is specified, we always try to show as many faces as possible there. So draw the pentagon in the top view in this fashion, get its center, connect its longer or slant edges there. Okay. Now coming to the naming part, you can call this as A, B, C, D and E there. So in front view, A dash visible, B visible, C visible, D is hidden and E is visible there. Then you know the axis height is given as 65 mm. So mark it here. This is your O dash. Okay. So now again we have to enclose it in a box, right? So isometric projection is nothing but drawing the boxes, getting the box and their respective, what you say, the polygon on that box there, right? So here there is no need of enclosing the entire pyramid in a box. We are having only the polygon at the base. So it is sufficient if you just enclose this in a rectangular lamina here. Okay, so I can call this as P, Q, R and S. So this is your P dash, Q dash, R hidden, S also hidden there, right? So this is the knowledge of your solids chapter. Now you come to the isometric projection. So once again, first step is draw the isometric scale. I hope I need not repeat it again, right? So I will start from this bottom corner Q here. Now observe this line PQ, it is horizontal. So take its isometric length and draw it 30 degrees line here. Then QR is also horizontal, it is the top view. So this line is horizontal. So take this QR and again draw it at 30 degrees, its isometric length. 30 degrees. So this is your P. Okay. Then PS is parallel to QR. So to this QR, with the help of your drafter or your 30-60 set square, you can mark the S there. So once you get S, you can mark this R there. Okay. Now, as we did for the hexagon, same thing you repeat it here. You take this distance PA, which will 100% be equal to QB. Get it converted there and come and mark the point PA here from P. Then from Q you mark the point B. Okay. Then you take this distance PE, which will be equal to QC. Get it converted. Come and mark this point E here. And QC you can mark it here. From Q you can mark the C. Then you take this distance SD, right? Get it converted and from S you mark the point D there. Then you connect it by a light line here. This base pentagon connected by a light line. So you have got the pentagonal lamina. Now please concentrate. See, in order to get this apex or in order to draw this slant edges, first I must get this axis O dash, O1 dash. So here it is O, O1 is hidden. Now concentrate. To get this O1, please don't take any angle and draw it there, right? Apart from your 30-degree angle, no other angle you should take in isometric projection. So what we will do here is, you drop a perpendicular from this O1 to this PQ and you draw a horizontal from this O1 to this QR perpendicular there. So I can call these 2 points as M and N there, right? So now what you do, take this distance PM, get it converted and from here, from P, you mark this point M here, right? PM here. Then you take this QN distance, get it converted, come and mark it here from Q. So you have drawn these, then passing through M, you are having this line MO1 which is parallel to QR. So to this QR, you draw a line parallel here. Then passing through N, you are having a line which is parallel to this PQ. So to this PQ, draw a line parallel like this. Now you will get this O1. So this is the important thing in the pyramids chapter. or in the pyramid's part there. So once you get this O1, now you see O1 is a vertical line. It is front view. So in isometric also it will remain vertical. So what you do now, you draw the vertical line here, axis, right? So take iso length of 65 and mark it here, O here, right? So O1 is isometric length of 65 there. Now once you get that point, again as I told you, there is no top portion there, right? You are having left, right and front part there. So when you take the leftmost point, OE will be the leftmost point, and when you take the rightmost point, OC will be the rightmost slant edge there like this. Then you take this front portion. See, E to A is front, A to B is front portion, B to C is front portion, and this part E to D, it is a hidden or invisible line there, and D to C or CD is also a hidden line there because it is on the back side there. So now you can observe that after OE, OA is the next visible slant edge, draw it dark. Then OB is the next visible slant edge, draw it dark. OC we have already connected, and when you take OD, it is on the back side, so it must be dotted line like this. Okay, so connect leftmost, rightmost, then front portion visible there, right? So this is the method for drawing the isometric projection of a pentagonal pyramid. Okay. So next is how to draw the isometric projection of a cylinder, right? So you can look at the problem. Again, it is a solved problem. Draw the isometric projection of a cylinder of 50 mm base dia and 65 mm height, resting with its base on HP. Resting with base on HP. So you know the cylinder, it is like this. It is resting with its base on HP. So in top view, you will see a circle, draw that circle here, and in front view, you will see it as a rectangle, draw that rectangle in the front view there. Okay. So now you rewind whatever you have learned for the circular lamina. So now the circular lamina is in the top view there. So enclose it in a box. Or you can remember that isometric projection of cylinder, it is similar as your prism there. So enclose it in a box means you are enclosing it in a square prism now, right? So this is your square prism here, right? So I will name the points as same as we have done in your circular lamina there. So this I will call it as A1, B1, C1, D and D1, and in front view A dash visible, B visible, C hidden, D is hidden, and when you take the base A1 visible, B1 visible, C1 hidden, D1 is hidden there. Then you mark these midpoints, right? So draw the vertical dia and the horizontal dia. You will have 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 3, 3, 1, 4 and 4, 1 here. Okay. So now the first part, right, as usual, draw the isometric scale and all the length should be taken via that isometric scale there. So now you have to first draw this base A1, B1, C1, D1, which will be nothing but an ellipse there. So we have already learnt in the previous interaction how to draw the isometric projection of a circular lamina when it is horizontal, that is when it is parallel to HP, how to draw it. So I will be starting it from this bottom corner B1 here. Okay. So at B1 draw two 30-degree lines. Okay. This line here. So from B1, A1, this is on the left side and it is horizontal. So you will get its length A1 here. Then B1, C1, again it is horizontal because it is your top view, you get this point here. Then A1, D1 is parallel to B1, C1. So A1, D1 you draw it here. D1. Then as I have told you, you take this distance A1, 1, 1, get it converted. From here you mark the point 1, 1 and at the same time you can also finish 4, 1. Then same way you repeat it here. From C1 you can mark this point 2, 1 and you can mark this point 3, 1 here. Right? Then as I have explained in the previous class, you take the shortest diagonal. With one end of the shortest diagonal B1 as center, opposite midpoints draw the first arc. Now since it is a solid, don't draw it dark, right? Because some part will be visible, some part will be hidden. So we will draw it light line first. So from B1, opposite midpoints 4, 1, 3, 1, draw the first arc. Then shift your center to other end of the shorter diagonal D1, opposite midpoints 1, 1, 2, 1, draw this curve. Then you consider only this part. To B1 opposite midpoint is 3, 1, to D1 opposite midpoint is 2, 1. When you connect it, you will get another new center O1. With O1 center, O1 3 or O1 2, 1, draw this curve. Similarly, repeat it here. You will get this part of the curve there, right? Then our next job is we should get this top circle or top ellipse there. For that we require these vertical lines. So as we did in prisms, at A1 draw a vertical and you take iso length of that, iso 65, you mark A. At B1 also you draw a vertical and B you mark. Similarly, you can mark C1 and from D1 you mark D. A, B, C, D, right? Then you repeat the procedure for what we did for the circular lamina. Okay. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you see this top ellipse, right? Top will be completely visible. So with B center, B3, B4, the first arc, you can draw it directly dark. With the D center, you can draw this directly dark. And you can get the next center O1 and you can complete this curve. Similarly, you can get the next center O2 and you can complete this curve, right? So what I have told you, first you show top completely dark, then you take left, right dark. So leftmost tangent you draw it solid there, rightmost tangent you draw it solid. Then this front portion will be visible there. So you make this dark, either you can do it freehand or use the instruments and do that. Then this portion of the ellipse which is on the back side, this will be hidden there, like this. Okay, so this is the method for drawing the isometric projection of a cylinder. So now next solid is how to draw the isometric projection of a cone there. So in order to save the time, just I will change this problem itself. So draw the isometric projection of a cone. It is a cone, right? Top view will be again a circle, but only the naming will be A, B, C, D there. Okay. If it was a regular class, I would have taken it separately, but just to save the time, I am doing this here. So here it is A, B, C, D. Now in the top, you will not have this. So you will be drawing this axis here and you will be connecting these two slant generators. This is O dash, this is O1 dash there. Okay. So this is the orthographic view, top view and front view of the cone there. Then coming to this isometric projection, so there will be slight changes here. You have to repeat the same procedure what we did for the base ellipse there, right? So this is your base ellipse. Just I will remove this part. Okay, this is just to save the time. So I'll repeat it. So starting from this point B, you will complete this square ABCD, mark its midpoints 1, 2, 3, 4, then you can draw this ellipse. Now only care you have to take here is you draw the ellipse, first light lines there. Entire thing is light there, right? Then you locate this center point O1. So the center is nothing but wherever you have drawn these two diagonals, or if you connect this 1, 3, 2, 4, right? 1, 3, 2, 4, if you connect them, you will get this center, base center, call it as O1 there, right? So now you see, you must draw this vertical axis OO1, which is 65 mm length. So from O1, draw a vertical ISO 65. So once you draw that, just from O, you draw these two tangents there, like this and like this. Okay. So now left is top, there is nothing in the cone. Left, right. So left and right I have done. Then you take the front portion. So when you take front portion, only this part of the ellipse will be visible and this back portion will be hidden there. Okay. So this is how to draw the isometric projection of a cone there.